Welcome back to Come Geek Some Horror, where today we're going to be looking at some of the worst endings in your favourite horror movies. Is your favourite horror movie here? If so, stick around until the end of this video. The Descent. Neil Marshall's claustrophobic cave movie is one of the best of its kind. It's cramped, bleak, and confined, but most of all, we have no idea what lurks in the darkness and shadows. The movie went through production swimmingly. The studio was liking what they were seeing in dailies, and the movie finished filming within a matter of months, but this was done to beat a competing movie, The Cave, to cinemas. But the ending is what we're here for, folks. We see Sarah able to escape and make her way up to the surface, and is finally able to make it back to the car, and she speeds off away from the area. She then pulls over and bursts into tears. As she throws up one of the biggest jump scares in the movie, she sees Juno next to her. Now this is where it changed. The American version simply cuts to the credits at this point, and everyone feels happy that Sarah was able to escape. But this isn't the full ending. We stay with Sarah and we actually realise that we're back in the cave and that Sarah has hallucinated that she escaped. She has another vision of Jessica, and we actually see crawlers are coming for her. The end. So why is this on the list? Well, during previews for the movie in the States, the audiences disliked the ending so much that the studio took note and decided to cut 1 minute from the ending. Lionsgate marketing chief Tim Palin said the following: "It's a visceral ride, and by the time you get to the ending, you're drained." Neil Marshall had a number of endings in mind when he shot the film, so he was open to making the switch. But this ending is not true to the movie, and it actually takes away what happened to Sarah in the caves. It is also the version that the majority of people who have seen it in the States hate the happy ending. This is one of those moments where studios should leave the movie alone and let the director's true vision be released and seen by everyone. Switchblade Romance. Alexander Aja's French extreme horror is a sight to behold, from the execution of the kills to the obscene amount of blood that is in it. The story is of Marie and her friend Alex, who are on their way to see Alex's parents. When they're there, a deranged truck driver turns up and kills everyone. Alex is taken by him, and Marie is in hot pursuit. And this is when we get to the terrible ending, folks. For some unknown reason, back in the late 90s to the early 2000s, a lot of movies, and not just horror, decided to use the "it was all a dream" or "in someone's head" as a twist. This got pretty old pretty fast. This type of ending is exactly what Aja did with Switchblade Romance. He used the "it's all in my head" twist. We see police at a gas station, watching security footage which shows Marie murdering the store clerk, and that Marie is in fact the killer and not the truck driver. Once people saw the ending, they were torn, myself included. It's a great horror movie, and without the twist, it could be classed as one of the best early horror movies of the French New Extremity movement. But the ending is what makes a lot of viewers unhappy after watching it. I've spoken with a number of people who love the movie, but turn it off just before we see the security camera footage, as they do hate the ending. I really don't see the need for a twist ending unless the movie calls for it. In horror, Sixth Sense, Saw, Psycho, Scream, these are just some of the great twist endings that work. Switchblade Romance, on the other hand, does not. Old. Back in 2021, M. Night Shyamalan couldn't do any wrong. He was on a career comeback of sorts, after releasing a string of movies which were well received and made money: The Visit, Split, and Glass. So when he decided to make Old, an adaptation of a Swiss graphic novel, people thought that it would actually be a good movie. We see a family go on vacation to a resort where they end up on a beach with other holidaymakers, but it turns out they cannot leave the beach and that they are rapidly aging as time goes by. Then the ending comes along. Viewers were of a different mindset for this. Some enjoyed it, saying the supernatural elements of the beach were great, and others thought that it was just a boring movie. The beach that they visit, which rapidly increases the age of all visitors, and the other part of this ending is that a pharmaceutical company uses these visitors to test new drugs on all ages. That's it. That's the ending. That's the twist. It sucks. The sad thing as well, the original source material doesn't have the drug testing or even people surviving the beach. It ends with the daughter, now middle-aged, building a sandcastle, alone. That would have been a better ending for this movie, but for obvious reasons, M. Night needed to add a twist ending, as it wouldn't be an M. Night movie otherwise. The new ending made people groan and roll their eyes. It doesn't explain anything. Why is the beach rapidly aging the human body? Who found this beach? How did they know it ages the human body? And it leaves more questions than answers. To go along with this, people just think it's one of the most underwhelming movie endings ever. It literally has no payoff. The Turning. Back in 2020, The Turning was promoted as being a good horror movie with genuine scares. Then people saw it. If we never had the two endings and finished only with the one that is in the novel, the movie would have been better off. The Turning ends with Kate escaping the house with the children in her arms and they manage to get away. Then we have a scene where Kate is in the hospital for the mentally insane and that the whole movie was actually a figment of her imagination, which the movie leans very strongly that this is the true ending. This seems to be a trend among some of the movies we've talked about today. But the truer ending of Kate being in an asylum is another one of those maybe it shouldn't have been added. Seeing that they decided to add two endings to the movie made a lot of people angry, who questioned whether the movie was even worth it. The studio behind the movie, Universal, saw how much negativity the ending got and decided to release a brand new alternate ending on the Blu-ray. This ending should have been used the first time around, as we see Kate having a fight with Peter Quint's ghost, the man who the kids have been talking about the entire movie. Kate starts choking Quint, but Flora stops Kate as she realizes it's actually Miles and not Peter she is choking. We then have a spider crawl out of Miles' mouth and he comes back to life. This ending still leaves it a tad open as it finishes with Kate screaming, and if the hauntings actually took place, but it would have been better than what we got. Sinister. For the most part, Scott Derrickson's Sinister is a great horror movie with some genuinely terrifying scares, but once it makes it to its ending, the film falls apart. For some reason, the ending seems very rushed with unintentionally funny moments and getting rid of the fantastic atmosphere the first 90 minutes has built so well. To have the family pass out and then have Ashley the daughter dismember them, it went too quick and felt rushed compared to the rest of the movie. To then have Bugle come out and pick up Ashley and then walk away with her, it just made people forget how good the movie actually is, and all they remember is how bad and rushed the ending is, and how can we forget about that last one jump scare, which wasn't needed at all. It made the ending feel even cheaper than what we got, almost like a last gotcha moment. It's sad that this ending is the one that was approved of, because when you watch the movie and see it unfold and how the tension is built and the atmosphere, it's just amazing. Then you get the quick get to the end credits, skip over conversation and everything. This seems like it may have been a studio note or feedback. The movie does run for around 1 hour 50 minutes, so maybe they wanted a bit of a shorter horror movie to get more screenings in a day. Who knows? But whoever's idea it was to shorten the ending, you need to step away from making movie decisions. And there we have it. 5 horror movie endings which should have been a lot better. Let us know your least favourite horror movie ending below, folks, and we might just cover it in the next worst of video. If you're new around here and you liked what you've just watched, give us a like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.